Okay, so to find the volume of the cone, it's going to be the same formula as the volume of a pyramid. It's 1/3 capital B times H, where the capital letter B represents area of the base, and H will represent the height of the whole cone. Now remember, the height has to start at the vertex, it goes straight down, and it makes a right angle with the base. This is the height. Now, if you connect it to the side, does anybody remember what the hypotenuse of that is called, Milo? Good. That is called the slant height. The hypotenuse is called the slant height. Okay, so we want to find the volume of a cone with a base radius of 9 and a slant height of 41. So I'm going to draw a diagram here. So I'm going to draw my cone. They're saying we have a base radius of 9, so there's my 9, and a slant height of 41. There's my 41. Now to find the volume of a cone, it's 1/3 area of the base times the height. Well, in this scenario, the base is a circle, so it's area of a circle times the height. So we are 1/3 pi r squared h. I can find the area of the circle base, which is fine because I know the radius is 9. Is the height 41?
No, it's not.
No. What do we have to do to find the height?
Draw the altitude.
Draw the altitude. Good. This is a triple. 9, 40, 41. So now when we come to plug into our formula, we have V is equal to 1/3 pi 9 squared times 40. V is equal to 1/3 times 81 times 40 times pi. I just rearranged the numbers. So 3 goes into 81 27 times. Did anybody multiply 27 times 40?
1080.
Thank you. 1080 pi units cubed. Is that pi important?
It's very important.
It's very important. It's like forgetting to multiply your answer by 3. That's a big deal. Okay, so now I'm shaking things up a bit. So here I'm telling you angle ABC is 60 degrees. We want to find the volume. Well, volume is 1/3 area of the base times the height. I can't find the area of the base because I don't know the radius. So we're 1/3 area of the circle times the height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a right triangle. So I'm going to drop down an altitude and come over. Now when I drop down that altitude, what do you think happens to that 60? It gets split into
30 and 30.
30 and 30, and what kind of triangle does this become?
60, 90.
A 30, 60, 90. So I'm going to redraw the triangle over here. So we know opposite the 30 is x, opposite the 60 is x root 3, opposite the 90 is 2x. So our equation is 2x equals 12, which means x is equal to 6. So our radius is 6. What's our height?
Our height is 6 root 3.
Our height is 6 root 3. You got it. So the volume is going to be 1/3 pi 6 squared times 6 root 3. So we are 1/3 times 36 times 6 root 3 times pi. So 3 goes into 36 12 times. So we are left with 12 times 6 root 3 is 72 root 3 pi. If you were to write 72 pi root 3, it's the same thing, guys. It's all multiplication. It's all commutative. It doesn't matter. All right, number 3, find the volume. Well, this time we're not dealing with a 30, 60, 90. What are we dealing with?
45, 45, 90.
45, 45, 90. So I'm going to redraw that 45, 45, 90. So opposite the 45s are x and x. Opposite the 90 is x root 2. So here we're going to have x root 2 is equal to 3 root 2. So x is equal to 3. The root 2's cancel. So that means our height is 3 and our radius is 3. The volume is going to be 1/3 area of the base times the height. So we're 1/3 pi 3 squared times 3. So we're 1/3 times 9 times 3 times pi. I'm going to cancel out these 3's, so our volume is 9 pi units cubed. All right, so that is the end of cones. Can I move on to spheres? All right, to find the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Now, isn't a hemisphere half of a sphere? So what we're going to do is we're going to do half times 4/3 pi r cubed. Well, when you multiply fractions, don't you just multiply across? So 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. So we're 4/6 pi r cubed. But what can I do with the 4/6? That's 2/3. So to find the volume of a sphere, hemisphere is 2/3 pi r cubed. There's our sphere. There's our hemisphere. Are we ready? All right. Find the volume of a sphere with a diameter of 6. Well, if the diameter is 6, what's the radius? 3. And the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. So we are now 4/3 pi 3 cubed. Now 3 cubed is not 9.
No, it's 27.
3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. And very good, Chase, that is 27. So we're 4/3 times 27 times pi. 3 goes into 27 9 times, so we're left with 4 times 9, which is 36 pi units or inches cubed. All right, find the volume of a hemisphere. Well, the formula for volume of a hemisphere is 2/3 pi r cubed. So now we're going to plug in. We're 2/3 pi 6 cubed. 6 cubed is not 18. It is 6 times 6 times 6. So look what I'm going to do here. Do we agree there's all multiplication here? So I'm going to do 2/3 times 6 times 6 times 6 times pi. Did I really change anything by writing it like that? No, it's all multiplication. So then instead of doing 6 times 6 times 6, I'm going to say, well, 3 goes into 6 twice. So then I'll do 6 times 6 is 36 times 2 is 72 times another 2 is 144 pi units cubed. Do you see how I did that to make my life a little bit easier? Oh, not units, feet. Sorry, feet cubed. Can I move on to number 6? All right, so now we're going to mix shapes. So if I wanted to find the volume of this ice cream cone, can somebody tell me what 2 shapes am I finding the volume of? Adam?
A cone and a half circle, or a half sphere.
A hemisphere, you got it. So we're going to find the volume of the cone and the volume of the hemisphere, and what should we do with those 2 volumes?
Add them up.
Add them up. All right, so I'm going to start off by finding the volume of the cone, and then we're doing volume of the hemisphere. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 area of the base times the height. So we're 1/3 pi 9 squared. I do not have a height. I need to draw my altitude. When I draw my altitude, this ends up becoming a triple times 3. Does anybody know what triple I'm talking about?
40, 41.
This is a 3, 4, 5. This is a 3, 4, 5 times 3, so it's 9, 12, 15. So the height of the cone is 12. So now I'm 1/3 times 9 times 9 times 12 times pi. I don't really know what the best thing here to do is. I guess we could do 3 goes into 12 4 times, and then 81 times 4. Did anybody multiply it? 3, 2, 4. All right, now the volume of a hemisphere. The volume of the hemisphere is 2/3 pi r cubed. So now we are 2/3 pi times 9 times 9 times 9. So we are 2/3 times 9 times 9 times 9 times pi. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So then we're going to do 81 times 6. 81 times 6 is 486 pi. Can somebody add these 2 for us?
That is 810.
810 pi units cubed. Ooh, what's number 7? Caleb? Half of a cone. So shouldn't I just take the volume of a cone, which is 1/3 area of the base times the height, and then divide it by 2? Or times it by a half, right? Isn't dividing by 2 and timesing by the half the same thing? All right, so right now I'm showing the diameter is 10. If the diameter is 10, the radius is 5. This is a triple. 5, 12, 13. All right, so now we are 1/3. Area of the base is 25 pi times the height is 12 times a half. So 2 goes into 12 6 times. 3 goes into 6 2 times. Do y'all see how I did that?
No, it's 4. 3 goes into 12 4 times.
Okay, you want to do it that way? I did the 2 first. Look what I did.
Oh, you did that.
It's the same thing though. So 3 goes into 12 4 times, but then what can I do now?
Times by the half.
2 goes into 4 twice.
So 2 times 25 pi.
So it's 2 times 25 pi, which is 50 pi units cubed. All right, I have 8 and 9 for you to do by yourselves, and then we are officially done learning. Hooray! I don't think we need to record these problems.